Hello.
Hi,
Hey Lou, how are you?
Tren, my mate. How are you? What's going on? What's
Oh,
going down?
what's not going on?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I'm okay.
It's been it's been a year, hasn't it? Even though we're only in the first couple of months, it's been a year.
What the fuck? Yeah, I know. Huge, huge, huge. What are we doing today?
We are looking at hats, helmets, and headgear.
Hats, helmets, and headgear. Love it. Okay, excellent, excellent. Will we draw a card
We will
first?
draw a card first.
All
Now
right,
we are the tarot dealers.
that's right.
I'm training this is Lou.
Hello.
And we have quite a few years experience in reading the tarot, teaching the tarot, all things tarot.
Mentoring it, all things.
All things tarot. So yes, so
Just doing what we love.
we yeah, it is. And we do
Gorgeous.
lots of things here, there, and everywhere.
We do. We do. Some things we do together, some things we
Yeah,
don't. But as Trent said, well, not but,
yeah. And
and as Trent said, we love what we do.
exactly.
And this is a space for us to share with you, whether you're watching us or whether you're listening to
Yeah,
us, to share what we do. And hopefully you can get some tips and tricks out of it. And you might even choose to share with us some tips and
yeah,
tricks
that'd be
that
nice.
you've
No,
got.
yeah.
Yeah, because I
'Cause-
don't know about you, Trent, but sometimes I find that having done this for so long, I can get caught in my own laneway, you might say,
exactly.
and that kind of
Yeah.
allows this tunnel vision
Yeah.
and
The blind
the
spots to
blind
come.
spots to come. So
Yeah. Yeah,
it's really
no.
good to hear from other
We'd
people.
love other people to let us know how what have you found with your own tarot journey and what you found.
Yeah, what have you found?
Yeah,
Is any of this what we're offering here helpful?
yeah, exactly.
Is it helpful?
Or do you want to know more, or have you got
Yeah.
questions?
Do you enjoy it? Like
Yeah, yeah,
that I
we
think
want to
is like we
know.
want to know if you enjoy
Yeah,
it.
we want
We
to
want
know
to know all the things.
because we love it, but we want to know that you do as well.
That's right. All right, so
So let's see what we need to know for the episode.
episode, okay.
What is it we need to keep in our awareness for this episode?
All right.
It's the hats, helmets, and headgear.
Hats, helmets, and headgear.
Okay, what do we need to know? No, we're going to use the light seers.
Okay.
We're going to use the light seers to see what we need to know because I find I go to the light seers almost as much as I go to the Rider Waite.
Yeah, I like the light seers cards. I
Yeah,
like them.
yeah.
They have like to me a different
It's a different
feeling.
feel.
And
Yeah,
I feel that they're a deck that retains a lot of the symbology of the tarot,
exactly.
even though
It's
the images are more modern.
more exactly
Which
more,
I think
and
is
I
really
think that's
important
I
because
think
some
that's
cards lose the imagery and they
yeah,
lose the symbolism. And
exactly.
if you're an advanced tarot reader or you've been reading tarot forever, then you might know all the symbology of each card.
Yeah,
But if you're not and you're new and you're using a card that's
not going along the
not got a
traditional.
lot, yeah, I
Yeah,
think you can lose a lot.
exactly. Well, we have the Eight of Swords,
Ah.
which is a bit interesting for our next episode.
Well, given that
That
we're
we're talking
dealing with
about. Yeah,
headspace,
yeah, it's quite literal, isn't
it
it?
is very
It's
literal.
very literal, and it's exactly what we were just saying about getting in our own heads and getting in our own blind spots and
Uh-huh.
everything. Sometimes we do tie ourselves up in knots. In it's this way, and that's how I've always seen it, and you can't move me. And I'm thinking this card will is saying we need to move out of our own
Correct. And the
way.
swords are
Yeah,
about the thoughts and beliefs and all the headspace mental energy. So I
yeah.
find that fucking ironic. You
It's real.
can't make
Yeah.
this shit
No,
up
you
that you
can't,
would
can you?
draw a sword card the day we're
The day
looking
we're looking at the
ahead.
yeah heads, the mental side of these,
Oh,
and using the symbolism in the we're going to use the Rider Waite
yeah, we're going to use it right
for
away.
the symbolism and everything, but it's really funny. It's like I'm looking at the light seer's Eight of Swords, but even though she doesn't have headgear on or a helmet or anything, but the birds are surrounding her head, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Even though she's got a blindfold on
She
too.
does.
So it really is. She needs to completely either get into her head or get out of it. I often think with this card, it's time to get out of it.
It is
It's
time.
time to get out.
I see it. It's time to get out.
It's time to get
Interesting.
out. You know, you spent too long in your own head. It's now
Okay.
time to break out.
Yeah, so that's kind of indicating that the card matches the topic.
Yeah, it does.
It matches the
Yeah.
topic, and we're going to talk a lot about it. So you guys might end up in your head thinking about all the things that we're
That
going to
we
talk
talk
about.
about.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. Because tarot, like in the tarot, we're talking about on the different cards, like whether they're a little, don't have all the symbology,
Yeah.
there's a loss of whatever, right?
Yeah.
So everything that's on the tarot, like it's decorative,
Mm.
right? Particularly when it sits on the head. We want to notice all of that because nothing's there by accident.
No, and it's
Right?
almost like quite theatrical in some of them, isn't it?
Absolutely. It can be
Yeah.
quite theatrical. You're right about that. And it's through the head that we can access the crown chakra.
Yeah.
Right? At your third eye and your crown chakra, right? So we're going to be talking all about that.
Yeah.
So historically, headgear and whatever it was, symbolized authority, consciousness, sovereignty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sovereignty, is that word, sovereignty? Divine mandate, could be social role, right? Your hat could indicate the field that you were in or the
Exactly.
social circle that you were amongst. So that's how tarot can use its language in a different way quite fluently, like when you start to have a look at a certain symbol, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. Let's look at the crowns
Yes.
firstly. So we've just got a few notes because, like, God knows.
It's a
It's
lot
just
of information.
us, yeah. So the kings and queens, they wear crowns because that they carry this power, right? So sometimes the crowns can represent a spiritual power, or they can represent the ruling
Yeah.
of, right?
Yeah.
So we're just going to have a little quick look here
look.
at the just some crowns. We're using the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Wands in the Rider-Waite deck.
The King of Wands.
Oh, fuck. Fuck
The
it
King
out.
and Queen.
Trust me with shit.
We have
It's
a
a king and queen. Right. I'm glad you're here to pick me up, Trent. So, okay, let's go with the Queen firstly. So the Queen here, when we look at the Queen of Swords, when you notice on the Rider-Waite deck, the crown that she wears, right, has like it's made of butterflies. So that actually is representing the transformation of the mind or the power, the rule
I think
of the mind.
I always think
right?
of her, it's more of the power, isn't it? It's more power.
Yeah, yeah. But it's of the mind in particular because this we're breaking it down,
Yeah.
right? The Queen does a lot of things, but we're only looking at the crown at the moment. So the sword represents the mind, the beliefs. So there's this power or this transformation of that part of her. Does that make sense? So the king, when we look at him, the King of Wands, did I get that right?
Yeah, you've got the King of Wands.
Yeah. So on his crown, as if you're looking at him in the Rider-Waite deck, you'll see that the points of that are like a flame.
Yeah.
Now that obviously matches the wand because it represents the element of fire.
Yeah.
Right. But it speaks into the passion of his rule, the passion of his action, because the wands are about the action, right? But also that he can be hot-headed.
Yes.
Because the flames are right on his head. So
isn't it?
hot-headed, yeah. Interesting. And yeah, that's he's ruling through the element that he works best with, right? So he's aware of who he is as a person and how he rules best because his crown is his sovereign part of him, right? So does that make sense?
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense. God. And what about a crooked crown?
Crooked crown, crooked old man.
Crooked old man, right? That could be authority under pressure, right? Also, we see on the Rider-Waite deck in the Tower card, we see that crown in the top corner.
It's falling, isn't it?
It's falling, and it's sideways,
Yeah,
right?
so it is crooked, isn't it?
It's the topple of power
Yeah.
in some way, or the changing of the power, the falling of.
Well, yeah, it is the falling of power, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the crumble kind of thing.
The crumble, yeah. So there's that. Righto. What about the magician? So we look at him and he has that infinity symbol above his head, right? Which is like a floating crown. Now that can be indicative of him accessing information from source or spirit that he then wields through into making something a reality, right? But it's power that is, he can access it. He accesses the power, but he doesn't own the power.
So he doesn't hold on.
He doesn't hold on to it. That's exactly right. Yeah. So we can see here that on the Rider-Waite deck
I wonder,
affinity.
yeah, I wonder you could do the same thing with strength because she has the
Absolutely,
everything.
you could.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you could, because they're accessing
Yeah.
that. It's not, they're not
They're
owning
not
it.
holding on
They're
to it,
not
are
holding it,
they? Yeah.
but it is getting access through the
Yeah.
crown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw that. But yeah.
Interesting. See,
Yeah.
this fucking shit we see, we find
Yeah,
all
exactly.
the way. So we are going to talk about now the Empress and the crown that she wears.
She has an interesting crown, doesn't she?
She does, Trent. What do you want? What do you know about her?
Well, she has a crown of 12 stars, doesn't she? Which represents the zodiac, the 12,
Yeah.
the star signs.
Literally,
Yeah.
12 star signs.
Yeah, 12 star signs. What else has she got? And the green wreath. She has a green. So if you think green wreath, that's growth, isn't it?
It is
It's
growth.
growth, yeah.
It is very much growth. The
Yeah.
wreath is growth. And it kind of like those together like represent the cosmic royalty,
Yeah.
right? So that's kind of like what that's saying.
Yeah.
But you were telling me
The
before,
divine
and
feminine.
who she relates
Yeah, I've
to,
got a
funny
fight.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Virgin Mary
She
and
revised, yeah, she relates, well, the Empress herself and the crown. I think it's more the crown because if you
Yeah.
look at Virgin Mary statues or photos, not photos, paintings, because they didn't have photos in those days, just taking a selfie.
Can you imagine that?
But she quite often is shown with 12 stars around her head.
Oh,
The Virgin,
she is too.
yeah.
I wondered where you were going with that.
Yeah, she's quite often
taken
shown,
this-
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh,
so that's how the Empress is
does.
related to the Virgin Mary in the Christianity
Faith.
faith.
Yeah.
Put it that, yeah,
That makes
yeah.
sense. And because overall, just going to digress for a second, the Empress speaks into fertility, right? But what this woman or the energy does, right, is it embodies life possibilities. Now, the life possibilities, not only because she represents fertility, but also because she, as Tren said before, is the divine feminine, and she accesses information from the universe here up through the crown. So it's interesting, I think.
It's really interesting. Yep.
Yeah. So, so she's working with the energy of the zodiac. She talks about the 12 months. She talks about the rhythm of nature and the pattern of time. Yeah, and the wreath is, as Trina said before, it's earthly and ancient. It also represents fertility and festival. So the connection for the fertility also comes into the abundance.
Yeah.
Out of that wreath.
Out of that wreath, yeah.
Out of that wreath.
Prosperity, isn't it? That comes along with the abundance.
Yeah. Interesting.
Now, going from the Empress to Justice.
Oh, let's have a look. What's Justice got going on? Again, we're still using the Rider-Waite deck.
Yep. So his is a lot simpler crown. We're going from the Empress, who has the 12 stars, to Justice, which is a really simple. It is a simple crown, but if you think about justice, the truth, and we think about justice, which is truth, so that the truth has to be simple.
Plain and simple.
Why do you have an elaborate when you can just needs to be simple?
And his crown is plain and simple. It's like squared. So it's these square cuts and these squares that sit. It's very square, right? So straight, truth, honest, talks about that. And as Tren said, very plain and simply, the truth.
The structure, and it's measured, isn't it? And it's got boundaries.
Measured. Correct.
Boundaries.
Correct. Yeah. So it's not meant to be glamorous. The crown's not glamorous. Sometimes the truth isn't glamorous either, right? And it's just not, is it?
It's just not.
Sometimes the truth is just what the truth is, And then other times it's like, well, but there's no theatrics.
No, not on this one, is there?
No theatrics when we're talking about the truth. And the truth is, very simple. Yeah. But it's about looking at the rules and the balance of
the situation.
That situation, exactly. What have we got now?
Now we're moving on to hats. We're moving away from crowns into hats.
We're going to look at the Page of Pence.
He's got quite an elaborate hat, doesn't he?
He does. For a page, he does.
Page, yeah.
He does, but pages often, like when a page is wearing a hat, right, and 3 out of the Rider-Waite, I think, wear the hat, it represents their learning.
Yeah.
It represents their learning. Now, what's interesting is the Page of Swords has no hat, right? So think about that for a second. The swords talk about the mental energy. So there's exposure to the mental energy, potentially why he's not wearing
Why he's not wearing
not
one.
wearing a
Yeah.
hat. Because he's learning about the mental energies and he needs to be exposed to that in order to do so. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's our conclusion.
Yeah, I think with especially the Page of Pentacles, which is what we've got here, and the red color of his hat, he really is that passion. It's the passion of what he wants, what he wants to learn.
And it's earthly and it's connected to our base chakra, right? Which is
tying in with that red
to
color.
the earthly connection, right? All
right. Then we're moving on to wreaths.
Wreaths. Okay. Oh, we have two
We've got
wreaths
two,
here.
We have the Two of Cups and the Fool. And when we think about wreath, it's victory, isn't it? It's success.
Success, good news, growth.
Quite literally growth, isn't it? Because they are normally made out of, didn't the Romans do them out of laurel leaves or something?
They did a lot. And this talks about fertility and celebration, right? And remember the Empress has that on, like, just underneath her crown. Right? She has this as well. So you were talking about something about power with this.
Yeah, it's the power that blooms.
Power that blooms.
Power that blooms.
Yeah. What a cool way to remember that. The power that blooms.
And if you look on the Two of Cups, they both have wreaths.
Yeah, different kinds of wreaths, but they both have them.
And the Fool has a wreath. So when you think about the Fool, it's a potential, isn't it? And the power that blooms. So he's blooming into something new.
Absolutely. He's blooming into something new. I really, really like that. So now we're looking at helmets.
Which is what you think, because all the knights have got helmets, but they're all different.
They are all different. And another guy has a helmet too.
And death. My favorite card.
Shane's favorite card, right? Let's look at that. So there's the helmet that he has here, right?
Yes.
But he has something else in his helmet.
Yeah, on his helmet, he has the red feather, which relates back to the Fool. So you can see how things connect. But when we think about helmets, it's like protection.
It is protection. Right? Protection of the mind, isn't it? Protection of the head, protection of all of those things.
Yeah, but I just thought that was really interesting because I'd never really noticed the connection between death and the Fool with that red feather. I'd never noticed that before.
Yeah, it's funny when you start diving into the intricacies of it, like what you actually pick up. So, but the helmets will also speak into like survival, not only protection, but survival for the mind or of the thought. Think about that for a second, because the thought can be really dangerous because our mind can play tricks on us and tell stories. So we kind of need to be able to identify when we're doing that, if that makes sense, because sometimes a thought can be dangerous, though it requires defense when action follows belief, right? Which is what we were saying. If you're taking action on the thought and you're believing into that, are you following a story, or are you actually changing action? Are you like what is it about that? So interesting that's how that's shown anyway, right?
Yeah, so if you get death to say and you focus on the helmet, it could be you're protecting yourself for the journey because you are on the journey.
Absolutely. And remember that feather goes back to the Fool, and the Fool speaks about the journey, right? The beginning of the journey, right?
So you can say with the helmet, say, I survive, I endure, I move through danger with purpose. So you really are moving. And we look at night, they've all got horses. So again, that's that movement, isn't it?
It is the movement, absolutely.
So the Knight of Wands, he's one that charges in. And you can see that through his plume. It's just, but he's also one that goes, look at me, look at me.
He does go, look at me, look at me. It reminds me a whole lot of someone. So look at me.
It's also, look at the size of the Knight of Wands compared to the Knight of Pentacles. Their plumes. That plumes tells you a lot.
It does, and the plume's green.
Yes, it's green on the pentacle. So it's that groundedness,
and that growth,
that steadiness.
Steady, yeah.
The Knight of Cups with his little silver winged little bits. Well, he is the divine messenger, isn't he? And if you go back to whoever, the Greek gods or whoever has Hermes, he's the delivers the emotional truth.
Yeah, see,
So
so the cups
yeah,
being the emotion. So
yeah.
you can see how the
How
symbols like come
so
together
yeah,
and match
yeah,
the rest of the card. I
yeah,
love how they've
yeah.
done it.
And with
You
the
know,
the swords, the Knight of Swords, we can see he's impatient.
he's very
He's
impatient.
impatient. He wants to get his ideas across, or he wants to,
He does
he's
want
it's
to
just
get his
well, I
ideas
just think the
across.
Knight of Swords is impatient anyways.
He is impatient anyways. He's in a hurry. He's
He's
like
in a
kind of
hurry.
going against the grain
The
in a lot of
grain, yeah,
ways, but he does symbolize swiftness, right? So
yeah,
he can be swift in thought,
yeah,
thoughts like this
yeah.
that
A
come quite
quick thinker
quickly.
is
Yeah, quick
quick
thinker.
thinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
What do we
right.
got?
We have the temperance.
Temperance, which he doesn't actually have a helmet or headgear, but he does have that third eye.
He does.
Yeah,
And he's
so
got like the halo
got a
too.
halo as well,
Mm,
doesn't he?
the halo
Yeah.
around his head.
So
So,
what is symbolizes divine awareness
mm,
and a calm balance. Yeah, of going with the flow of that awareness, isn't he?
yeah,
But you
yeah.
think temperance is that balance anyway, that patience, is that moderation.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
But through the third eye, so that might be about like the messages that he receives or gets, and balancing that with his living natural state, or the living natural
Yeah.
state. What comes in the subconscious, because he's got conscious and subconscious stuff to deal with, but a lot of subconscious stuff here, which is going to come
From the
from
third eye.
here,
Yeah.
right? So in
Yeah.
that sense, so yeah,
Yeah.
he's looking at his third eye mostly. I
It's
feel
very
on this
open, isn't it?
is
It's very open.
extremely open. So yeah, being open to receiving the
Yeah.
messages, being open to bring those into reality, being open to balance the difference between his spiritual life and the stuff that he had to do,
Stuff you have to get through. Yeah. Then we're moving on to no hats, no
No
head,
heads,
bare
no
head, bare
headgear.
heads, not bed heads, bare
Bare
heads.
heads. So what might a bare head be? Tell me what you think might a bare head
Well,
be.
I think you're just completely open. You've got no covering, have you? You've got nothing. So you are completely open.
Yeah, you're kind of exposed,
Yeah.
right? So, which
Yeah.
reminds me of the star. So being exposed like that
Yeah.
and the head being open like that. So it kind of speaks to me into the surrendering and the trusting of where you're at.
Yeah. It's almost like a vulnerability too, isn't it? Because you are
Absolutely.
completely open, aren't you?
Absolutely like a vulnerability. And then when we look at this card here, right, which is the Eight of
Swords.
Swords. Is it an eight? It is an eight of swords, yeah. She got the swords all around her, but her head is exposed. Now, how this matches this card is that it's to use Tren's word, the vulnerability of the mind, right? And the stories that it's telling itself, right? So this person is surrounded by all of their thoughts, but they're vulnerable to those thoughts, right? Because the head is exposed.
Yeah, and because we had the Eight of Swords in the Light Seers for the episode.
We did too. There you go.
And you can see I know those that are watching can see the comparison. It's very much, you can sort of see in the light seers, almost like you can see a reflection, can't you?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Whereas on the Rider Waite, the water is down near her feet, so that emotion, that going over and over. But here, it's the reflection. So yeah, that's interesting that they both came out.
Yeah,
the bare head, isn't it?
Very interesting that that came out like that. And I know you had some other things about the Emperor and all of these. Oh, hang on, here's the Emperor.
Here's the Emperor. Yeah.
Now, here's the Emperor.
We missed him. He does have a crown, but his crown is very structured.
It is very structured.
It's whereas the Empress is very organic. The Emperor his crown is very structured, very formed.
Yeah, so it's formal in its construction,
Yeah.
right? So we're going to talk about the stones on there.
Yeah.
So have a look, you'll see
He's
that
got
he has
red and white gemstones on his crown.
He does. So the red gemstones will talk about his power and his passion, right? And the white will talk about his purity, his justification, and his righteousness of his position. Well, we were talking about
how do we
how
bring that in?
how do you bring that in together, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's the structure, which is the crown itself.
Yeah.
Right. The red, which talks about like, to me, the connectedness to life, the connectedness to his base chakra, so the connectedness to earth in a way.
Yeah.
So then he has the white, which is like the connectedness to his crown. So he has a responsibility, I feel, to gain the knowledge from the universe, so to speak, but to bring it through structure. Well, he presents it through structure in an earthly manner.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So because he makes those kinds of decisions, doesn't he?
He does. He does. He also, in itself, but with the crown itself, it governs life, and he requires order.
He does require order.
So even that crown, the way it's ordered, the way it's
sitting on his head,
it's got to be that really ordered. Well, it's inorganic, isn't it?
It is inorganic because there's this structure about it, right? And the control, to me, that leads into control, because he's trying to make sure it's all right and make sure he's governing as above, so below type stuff, So because he's ruling, he's really making rulings over things, isn't he?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I've got to find my notes now. But so we have what is he? The hermit, but he has like a hood. So if you think of hoods, and we wear hoodies now, but it's sometimes like we withdraw. We put, it's almost like a turtle. Sometimes we duck in because we want to withdraw. So the hermit with his hood is basically saying sometimes it's like we need to isolate. We need to take ourselves away.
We do. And it's really interesting because you bring into that body language, and I was listening anyway to something about body language, and somebody saying that people turtle. They pull themselves in when they don't want to be seen, or they don't, they're taken back with what somebody says. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know about that. Now that hermit, when we think about the hermit overall, he talks about the knowledge and the wisdom, because he's gone up to the mountain, right? He's now has this view from the top of the mountain, so he's got a lot of wisdom. But it's also solitude. Yeah. Right. So he literally has withdrawn in order to do both of those things, either be in solitude and or understand his own wisdom. So really interesting that that's what the hood is when you break it down like that. Yeah.
And then we have the Hierophant, who has a very interesting crown.
Very complex, isn't it?
He has 3 crowns on top of each other.
Yeah, three-tiered.
Three-tiered crown. And it's actually based on the papal tiara. So if we think of the Pope, I don't know, funny things they wear.
About that, of
things they wear.
Yeah.
But it's like the 3 crowns also represent a triple reign. So so spiritual dad, which is funny, spiritual dad, earthly administrator, and God's spokesperson. So that's the triple reign.
That makes sense to me. So you've got your Father, Son, the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So three stages of spiritual hierarchy or enlightenment. So that's the 3 stages. So that is represented by that crown. And then you've got to learn the foundations, integrate the mysteries, and rise into the illumination.
I really like that. Say that again.
So you've got to learn the foundations, integrate the mysteries, and rise into the illumination.
Now, how much sense does that now make?
Yeah, when you look at that
Hierophant,
when you look at that.
Yeah, so in terms of, let's say we're doing a reading, right? And this card come into focus, and you were drawn on the crown, and it was something about, like, the Hierophant itself speaks about religion, customs and traditions and that kind of stuff. Right? Yeah, performity, but you need to learn all of that,
All of that.
embody all of that, and then become
the
thing,
that,
right?
but you can't rise up into illumination until you've got that firm foundation.
Firm foundation, yeah. And then that would depend on what cards were around it and to what that might be about. Like you might be studying something, or you just might be getting through life, just be in your job or be in your business. This would tell you if you're drawn to the crown. That's how you're going to do that. And that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do, right? Yeah, interesting.
So then we have
Our
the chariot. The chariot. I forget what the chariot is. Here he is.
This chariot here, a bit of a driving force, isn't he?
Isn't he? He's definitely movement. He's also, because he wears a crown with the star, so it's a destiny, a direction, and a cosmic navigation.
A cosmic navigator, right? Yeah. And you see, just to add to his crown, well, I know we're looking at the crown, but on his canopy is all the stars. So it tells you that he's connected universally, right? So that cosmic player again.
Exactly. So it's like guidance with purpose, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's that. Guidance with purpose. And direction. Guidance with purpose and direction.
Yeah. So he rules in motion, forward momentum.
Forward momentum.
That movement, isn't it? When you think of a chariot, but it's that momentum is coming from that mental energy, isn't it? That mental connection.
Well, it is. And cosmically, he might be getting that information, right? And it sits, it's above his third eye, right?
Yes, it is. It's above that.
It sits above. But what runs across his third eye is a wreath. Now, what does the wreath represent? What have we learned about that?
That's all growth,
right? So he's growing in the direction he is headed, so long as he follows that message that he gets from
the cosmic navigation he's getting.
Right? It's like, this is the card that says follow the messages.
Yes.
So
don't go off on tangents, on your own tangents.
This is the fucking GPS, right? Follow the GPS.
Don't ignore
the GPS. Who was I talking to? Someone, and they were like, someone had come for a reading, and they were like, oh yeah, my partner dropped me off, and oh my God, I don't know why they didn't listen to the GPS, because it always takes you the shortest route or the best route with least traffic or whatever. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, that's if you programmed it that way.
You don't I'm not doing a UE here. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, like, how are you programmed, right? This is kind of the programming. And how are your settings? Are you following the settings? Because if you're like me, your fucking GPS sometimes is like, my actual earthly GPS will take me on a fucking journey where I'm like, how the fuck did I get this way? How can I be in the middle of here, like facing, I am that person who faces the water, and it's saying to you, continue another 200 meters. And I'm like,
no. No, sorry, no. I've got friends, and they've named their GPS. It's Bertha. Bertha, we're not listening to you anymore.
However, when we're looking at a spiritual GPS, are you listening, and are you programmed to listen, or have you lost your sense of direction?
Yes.
Are
you trying to take over the GPS?
Are you not embodying what the Hierophant says and have taken over the GPS and like ruling,
telling the GPS where you're going?
Exactly. So fascinating. That's how, what do we call it?
Headgear.
Yeah. Let us know what you thought about that. It's a bit of a different take on the cards that you know.
But it is giving you another layer to the cards, another level to the cards, to your readings, to your messages. Yeah. There's so much to it.
There is so much to it. So we hope that you enjoyed that.
Yes. But let us know. Let us know if you've found any other hats, headgear, or whatever other interesting little things on people's heads.
Absolutely. And then actually you can take that into like real life, right? You look around and you look at people's heads, or what they've got on their head, or what headgear they're wearing. Is someone got an elaborate, what do you call those things when you go to the races?
What do you call them? Fascinators.
Fascinator. What? How fascinating is fascinator? Like what? How elaborate is that? Or is it
Yeah.
not? Or that is the hair tied up with just a plain band,
Yeah.
or is it
Yeah,
really?
you've got head, what are the bands that go, the Alice bands or whatever they call? I don't know. The bands, I don't know what they're called.
like a headband,
Like a
the
headband, like a head, yeah, like a headband
yeah.
thing. That's
So
what they're called.
do they
Yeah,
do that?
yeah,
Like, are they plain
yeah,
singing, you know, are they, is their ears protected? Are they protecting what they're
yeah.
hearing? Like, is the helmet or the hat coming
Coming
down
down
and
too
covering
low.
the eyes, you know?
Yeah.
Like, think
There's
about,
so much to
there's so much
see.
that you can see and do. So
Yeah,
think about it like that.
yeah. Interesting.
Think with the
Interesting.
head about that and let
Exactly.
us know your thoughts.
Yes. And we will see. Thank you very much for listening and
Yeah,
watching. Thank
thank you
you
so
very much.
much.
We love your support and we
We
really,
do.
really appreciate it. So thank you.
We do. So we're going to go now.
Yes.
And we will catch you
Next
next
time.
time. Big, big, big love.
See you later.